Hello, Franklin Foxes. Mr. Alek here, obviously. If you can't tell who I am at this point, then it's a little sad because I've been here for a little bit. So I'm actually going to be starting little videos with the STEM people. A lot of them have probably already started as well, and that is completely okay. But today we are actually going to be making a cactus and then talking about cactuses. Yes, cacti. Look at my little example. It doesn't look like anything, but I'm gonna make it better for you guys. That's for sure. All right. So what we're gonna need, if you guys need to pause the video to go get all this stuff, go right ahead. Okay. But first, obviously paper. You can have white, or you can have colored. That is completely up to you. But I'm gonna use color for this one just so I can say I'm fancy. So, and then colored pencils. Any kind of paper cup, anything like that. If you can't, we can figure out how to make one a little bit later if that's the case. Tape or glue, that is up to you guys. I cannot find glue in this house, so I have tape. And then scissors to cut paper and tape if you're using it. So here we go. All right, so first things first. You're gonna have your piece of paper, whatever it is. It can be a colored piece, it can be a white piece. I would suggest if you're using white right now, go ahead and get your color, whatever it may be. I don't think a gray cactus would be any good, but then you just color all that in as much as you can, as much as you possibly would like. But you're gonna need 2 pieces of it, okay? And what you're gonna do is you are going to fold the first one in half, as good as you can. What is it? What is this size? It's considered hot dog, is that right? No, is this hamburger? Yeah? Okay, cool. Then we're gonna go hamburger side and do that with your other one as well. And yes, I am talking to someone on the other end of the camera. Might be a little weird, but that's okay. And then you're gonna put both of them together, just like so. So one, kind of like a book. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? You're gonna lay it down. Just want to come in closer to this and just look right here. We are going to go ahead and start by making ourselves a little outline of a cactus. Just be something as simple as an oval, well, half oval. Come up, back down like that. And do that with the other side as well. They're beautiful, I know. And that's what we're going to be working off with. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep that and you're going to cut around the entire edge. I will cut this real quick and I'll get back with you guys. Sometimes that is one of the hardest things to cut, you know, but as far as I'm concerned, I believe everyone should learn. And even if it's really hard. I know a lot of the kids just have me try and cut it for them, and then I feel bad because sometimes it turns out really bad, but that's okay. So we should have cut out 4 little cactus things right now. I'm going to do something a little bit different from what I had in this previous one, which is completely okay. Everyone can be different in their own way, and I'm going to be different. So I'm actually going to use 3 of these. I'm not going to use 2. I'm not going to use 4. I'm going to use 3. So what's going to happen is you're going to fold it in half. Make sure you fold all of them about the same way as you're folding. It's a really weird half, but it is going to be just like that. And you're going to do that with all 3. Being like, hey, that I folded it this way, so I'm going to fold it that way. Look at me go. I'm the best. That is for sure. And 1, 2. Is this one backwards? I think so. And 3. Okay. And after this, those of us who are using tape, which is completely okay, we're going to use it. And what we're going to do is we're going to find They're not going to be matching edges. I'll tell you that much. They're not matching at all. We're going to trim them off later. We're going to trim them in a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves little pieces of tape. I know a lot of you guys like to do the whole peel it off and then cut it with scissors method, so I'm gonna do that too. Just like, oh my goodness, unless I can't have it peel right, that's fine. There we go. Gonna snip it just like that. And then if you guys know how to, we're going to do this. You ready? You're going to roll it over itself with the sticky part facing outwards, so you get a little roll just like that. Just like that. And then what you're going to do, so you're going to get two of those sides of the cactus. You're going to place your little weird rolly thingy right either on the top or the bottom. Doesn't really matter. Then you're going to squish two of those together just like that. And that's a pretty good hold that we have right there. And we're going to do that for both the top and the bottom. But I have that little extra piece that I ended up putting in half, so I'm going to use that again. And there we go. Okay, so now we have ourselves one good side put together. We're going to do that with one more stuck right in there. But I will go ahead and pause this as I go ahead and put this all together, and I'll get back with you in just a second. I only have so much mental brain capacity, and I think I've already strained it on a cactus, out of all things.
But can the kids do it? Do you believe in them?
I know the kids can do it. They're smart. I think some of them are smarter than me.
You really think so?
Yes, like... These kids are very impressive, I'll tell you that much.
How many of them do you think would love to hear that from you?
I have no idea. As many would like to hear it that can. I'll clean you up later. Okay. Oh my gosh. Scissors scare me sometimes. You want to know one of the scariest things that happened to me in life? All right, so I lied to you guys. I'm not done yet, but we are gonna get a cactus fact. If y'all want it. You're going to get it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. But did you guys know that cactuses can range anywhere from a few inches high or round or whatever to about 66 feet high, depending on the certain breed of cactus or species. But do you imagine how high 66 feet is? So think of your house right now. On average, those are probably about, dare I say, about 30 feet high if it's a 2-story house. Imagine two of your houses stacked on top of each other. That's as big as a cactus. It's pretty massive, isn't it? Kind of scary, too. Like, what if one of those things decided to topple and fall? You'd get a crater in the ground. That's what'll happen. But there's cactus fact number 1. And we're going to spread more out throughout a little bit of this here and there. But looks like I am almost done. So if you guys would like to have a little bit more time, go ahead and pause the video. But we're going to keep going from here, okay? So as we can tell, we have ourselves a little standable cactus right now. It's kind of cute, isn't it? But as you can also see, these are kind of weird and not really focusing on each other right now. Like, some are shorter than others, some are bigger. We're just going to go ahead, and if you guys want to, you don't need to do this. We can have it all do whatever it feels like, but I'm going to go ahead and trim off some of the excess so it all looks like one big limb of a cactus. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of them. I will at least trim it pretty decently. And I am also going to tape them together because I didn't realize that I didn't do that yet. So give me just a second again. Be right back. All right, so I decided to go ahead and put them back together. And now it is a pretty sturdy looking cactus. So from here, I would suggest to give yourself some spines. I have a white pencil that I'm going to do this with, and you can go through and you could just make little dots here and there to make little like spines of a cactus just to decorate it. Make it look kind of interesting and cool, you know. But as soon as we finish that, which we'll do in just a second, after Cactus Fact number 2, I actually need to look this one up. Give me a second. Here we go. What's a cool one? Since we're doing spines, cactus have spines instead of leaves. And spines can be soft or rigid. Do you guys know what rigid means? Probably not. It means hard. It's hard and prickly and a little bit rough to the touch. Kind of like when you're going to be rubbing, I don't know. What's a good example of rough?
Maybe a tree branch.
A tree branch. Yeah, that's a good one. If you end up like touching a tree branch or something, it's kind of rough and stuff, you know? But with a cactus, it's a little bit more rigid and pokey. It'll stab you. And we don't want that. Creak. We have people running around the house. We have a lot of people here. That's okay, though. But it's not only just like rigid or soft, but it can also be curved. It can be straight. It can be arranged in rows or kind of scattered all over the place. With mine, I'm doing it scattered. But if you see some of those little cactus that are for like decoration in some people's yards, normally they're in rows because, I don't know. I think OCD nature or simplicity, symmetry, stuff like that looks a little bit better. Symmetry, that's it. I know my words. Yeah, believe me, I think. But a lot of people enjoy having that to be able to look at. And I think it looks good. I mean, I used to live in a bit of a desert down by like where I originally came from. And it was a nice little place. But do you guys know what makes a desert a desert? Like, why is it considered a desert? Is it just because of the cactuses, or is it just because of, like, I don't know, salamanders everywhere, lizards? What is the main thing that causes a desert to be a desert? I'm going to give you guys a second to think about that. 1. Okay. It actually is because of how much precipitation it gets a year. Precipitation means rain, by the way, for those of you who don't know. But if a certain place or a certain city or a certain area doesn't get more than 16 centimeters of rain a year, it is considered a desert. And that's because a lot of things like this that don't need a lot of water all the time are able to grow and do stuff like that. But I realized we didn't finish Cactus Fact number 2. Look at me. I'm as distracted as a beaver. Okay, Cactus Fact number 2. Let's finish it. Okay, so they can be arranged in rows or scattered all over the place on the cactus. And then the spines can grow up to 6 inches in length. That's about this long. Imagine that thing puncturing you. That'd kind of hurt, wouldn't it? But that's why we don't like to poke them, because they also have little spindles on the end that'll like dig into you, and it's kind of painful. I would know. I may have landed on a few way back when. And let's just say I couldn't sit for a little while. That's what I can say to you there. But now I've just made it so I can see the spines, but I'm not gonna be able to touch anything. So look at me go. From here, we're actually going to start our little biome now to make it an actual cactus in a desert. But you're going to get your cup. You can do whatever you want with your cup. You can design it. You can color on it. You can use your pencils to give just a smiley face, make it a happy friend to see you. Whatever you'd like. That's completely okay. But I have 2 different pieces of paper, one nice and dark and brown and one a little bit lighter. I think I'm going to go for the lighter one because it's more sandy colored, right? But what I'm going to do is step 1. grab one of the papers that you used previously, crumple it into a ball, and throw it at the bottom of your cup, because that'll give us a little bit of a cushion at the bottom. Next, with your paper, you're going to try and make it as much of a flat circle on top as possible, but still kind of crunch it together, like that. And you're going to squeeze that in there until it looks like this. In a sense like that. But after that, we're going to figure out how to shove our cactus in there. I haven't actually figured out the best way to do it yet, but we're going to try it right now. So with this, he can stand on his own. So if you really wanted to, you could just place him and leave him. But then if someone like shakes it, then there's your crater in your ground, right? So what I was thinking was that I was going to get a little bit of tape. And I'm going to do the whole rolly thing again. And I'm only going to place it on one side. Then I'm going to place that one side down a little bit. Kind of if you come in close and take a look. Going to place that down a little bit and push it right onto this one side right there. And that way, from the front, it doesn't look any different, right? You can't shake it down. But it also stays. Pretty interesting, right? Yeah, it's fun. I think it's interesting. You guys don't need to think it's interesting, but I do. It's cool. Okay, and now I'm going to make a few rocks, and that's why I have this nice brown paper. I'm going to take a little piece, crumple it up, and look, I made a rock. Simple as that. Simple, easy, and effective. But I'm going to shove it probably around my cactus a little bit just to give it a little bit more depth. And there we go. Put a rock there, put a rock there. Gonna stick everything in places. It's looking kind of cute, is what I say. And now from here, you can do a lot of different decorations on top of it that you want to. And you can put a little bit more detail into some things. Like if you were to get a pencil, you can give it like a little bit of dirt on the ground on top of that paper that you were just messing with. Make it look a bit more rustic, stuff like that. And I will give it a quick fast forward to when I have decorated this a little bit more myself, but that'll be right after Cactus fact number 3. So let's see. Did you guys know that cactus actually are able to grow fruit? They're actually called prickly pears. It's a funny name, right? Prickly pears. They come from a flower, actually, that grows on top of one of these things, which I'm going to actually make a little and put them on there. But after they grow, they still have little spikes and spines at the end of them, which means it can be a little pokey. But if you cut those off and you get the skin out of the way, the inside fruit is actually not only edible, but it's actually quite sweet and quite delicious. So if you ever go to the desert one day and you happen to see one of those, I would suggest having your parent get it for you first, and then maybe you guys can cut it open and try and eat it. But don't do it yourselves, because then you'll get prickly, and that'll be painful. But yeah, that's pretty cool, right? All right, I'll be right back. Well, did the finish thing. So you guys want to take a look at it? Come over here and take a look. This is my little desert biome. It's adorable, isn't it? And I'm pretty sure your guys will look better or as great as mine, because mine is kind of hard to pass. No, but thank you guys so much for joining in and still sticking with STEM Rec, because we miss you guys. We miss you guys a lot, and we're really hoping you guys are having fun back at your houses. And we're excited for the day that we can meet back up again and be back in the actual STEM Rec area. But in the meantime, please do these. I want to see pictures. I want to see videos. I don't care what it is. I just want to see your guys' creations. So if you guys had at least a little bit of fun, then come back next time for when I'm able to post something, and we'll continue doing stuff like this, no matter what it is. I think the next biome I'm going to work on is an ocean biome. We're going to make it a little coral reef. So please join in for that. All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a good day. Bye.